You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? What? Let us know where you've seen it in the comments down below, but for now, let's get on with the show. Hi guys, welcome to Ask the Camera Guy. I'm Steven the Camera Guy, and today we're going to be talking about the 3 steps to produce any film. So to produce any film in history, there are 3 different steps. There's pre-production, there's production, and there's post-production. So what is pre-production? Pre-production is basically the planning stage. Pre-production is when you go out, you scout the shoot, you scout the location. Land ho! Yes, over here. That's the perfect shot. Let's go. You come up with a script, you start casting characters, actors, talents. If you're doing something like a commercial, then that's when you sit down with the client and you try to get what they want from the commercial. Usually there are certain points that you have to touch on within the film or within, the commercial or whatever the case is. Whenever you're telling a story, there are certain points that you need to touch on. And the pre-production process includes the planning, the scheduling, the budget phase in terms of finding out how much this thing is going to cost, the quotations, what kind of crew you will need to establish the idea. All of these things happen in pre-production. I'll say this, if you don't do proper pre-production, your production and post-production will be a nightmare. So at this point, it cannot be overstated how important it is to plan your shoots and plan your films well. So when it comes to production, production is what I call the fun part. Production is when you actually take up a camera and you go out and you start shooting. By this time, you should have already had your talents ready in terms of the costumes, in terms of understanding exactly what you're going out there to achieve, what your storylines are, what your shot list looks like. All of these things would have been done in pre-production. Now it's actually time to go out and actually shoot something. Now I love this part. This part is energy, pure adrenaline. Working with people, it's sometimes a great thing, it's sometimes not such a great thing. What do you mean you're not ready for my close-up? But this is where you get the material you need to create the end result, all right? So production is basically going out there and getting all the material you need. So you shoot all the scenes that you need, you light, you do everything. And I can't stress enough, if you didn't have a good pre-production phase, your project might be a lot more stressful than it has to be. You cannot over-plan, you can only plan. So plan well, and this phase will be fun. It should be easygoing, you have enough crew, you have enough talents, you have the budget, and everybody is happy. Again, have fun. The production part is sometimes the shortest part of the entire process. You could plan for 5 days and only shoot for 1, and then post-production could last you for weeks. So usually the production phase is most of the times it's the shortest phase. So let's go to post-production. Now post-production, most people, especially photographers and video guys and cinematographers, this is the part that some people love but most people don't. And the reason being is because post-production takes so long. Now what is involved in post-production? Post-production involves basically bringing back all of that material that you shot in production, layering it out, labeling it, sorting it, putting it into a timeline so that you could see what you have, choosing the right clips, putting the actual material together to create a single edit. If you're doing photography, you will be doing multiple edits of different images. It involves painstaking sometimes edits and very long hours. Editors could spend anywhere from 8 hours to hundreds of hours doing a project. I mean, if you're doing a feature film, which is an hour and a half, it's not unlikely that you would have over 45 or 60 hours of footage just for that hour and a half. And sometimes it's much more. And somebody has to sit down and go through all of that material, all right? And that is tough. That could be very painstaking, could be very long, but it's very necessary. Post-production is also where you tend to like optimize your footage. It's where you treat it, or you get the best contrast that you could, or get the look that you want. Sometimes you go out on set and you would shoot something, you shoot it plain, so that when you reach back into post-production, you could add the little special touches and the little special, colors and arrange things in a way that really you couldn't get on the production set. All right? Doesn't say that you shouldn't have good material on set, but it also says that it takes a very long time usually the post-production process is sometimes the longest part, and it would be even longer if you didn't do good pre-production. I cannot overstate how important the pre-production, the first step of this whole process is, especially when it comes to post-production. If you have no plan, then your editors would be editing blind, and what they come up with might not be anything closely related to what the goal was. All right, so if we're comparing it again to a building, then post-production is when you put the paint on, it's when you put the furniture inside, when you do the decor and all of those related things. And the post-production process is incredibly important. But there's a lot that goes into this process, and I hope that you guys have made just a little bit more aware of what goes on when a photographer tells you, well, you know, you might be charged for an hour, but it's really going to take us a couple of days. All right. Again, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, click the little bell, which is somewhere in this general area here, to get notifications of new stuff. If you have any questions, remember this is Ask the Camera Guy, so you can ask me anything you want in the comments, as long as it's not, you know, something that's weird that has nothing to do with cameras. Yeah, don't do that. Don't send me any personal quotes. Keep it nice, keep it lively, and we hope to see you guys for the next show. Remember, as we usually say, peace, no gang signs, secret confession, pedicures are not feminine.